Well, the World Economic Forum is not just about established global leaders and entrepreneurs. There are plenty of young newcomers involved too. Global shapers, as they are known, belong to one of hundreds of hubs around the world. They see themselves as future leaders in their own fields and have ambitions and drive to contribute to their own communities. Well, let's speak to one global shaper, that's Lilian Madeje. She's a co-founder of management consulting firm Ekia in Tanzania. She joins me live now from the World Economic Forum in Davos. Thanks for taking time to talk to us on the program. What would you say you are able to get from the hub and implement or put into action?
Thank you so much, Sophie. In terms of what have I gotten from the hub, or particularly we can say what have I gotten from attending the World Economic Forum, it's different networking opportunities whereby you get to sit in tables with CEOs and movers and shakers in the business sphere. And what am I going to take back home with me when I go back to Tanzania? It's basically the knowledge, the different sessions that we've been able to attend, but also the different connections that I've been able to make here and connect them with those that I know are working in different areas, specifically in youth and creating employment.
Now, Lilian, you've mentioned youth, and a lot of the young men and women that I speak to who want to get into business, who want to get into, say, farming, for instance, always talk about capital. How do we generate money to start up a business? What is your advice to them?
Capital is an issue that goes all across the globe. It is not just like an African issue. There are different avenues that are coming up in this day and age, from venture capitalists to private equity firms. But then also one of the things that I took into practice when starting my own consulting firm is using your networks. Sometimes you do not necessarily need to start with net worth or money in the bank. So it's just about how creative can we get and how innovative can we get. And as the youth and this year's theme is actually mastering the fourth industrial revolution, how can we use technology to actually make life happen and most especially be job creators?
Absolutely. And you come from Tanzania. I'm sure a lot of young Tanzanians look up to you. But what would you say is the biggest challenge that your country or the youth in your country face today?
The biggest challenge, as you've pointed out, one of the biggest challenges is actually access to capital. And then next to that comes upon training, which I would somewhat link it to mindset. Having the mindset of actually having an innovative, viable business plan that people can, that somebody can say that I will invest in that idea. So the biggest thing, access to capital, training is pretty important.
But do you feel businesses or do you feel governments really take the youth seriously? Or ideas from the youth seriously?
Yes, with 50% of the world's population being under 27 years old, they need to take us seriously. As global shapers, we were able to have a Meet the Leader session with the Prime Minister for Canada, Justin Trudeau, and you know, one of the things that he talked about is how he actually has integrated the youth into his cabinet, and we're seeing different factors of that all across the globe, and even in Tanzania, my own country. If you look at the numbers of the recent elections that were just conducted, the number of young members of parliament that have gotten into seats has increased compared to 5 or 10 years. So we are going to be taken seriously because we need to be taken seriously.
Wonderful. Lilian Madeje, keep inspiring the youth. Thank you for talking to us.